By the way, he does not look strong.
He looks like defeated and weak, Pat. That guy, and by the way, he's unoriginal, Tom. And you talked about this before. He stole the tack. He took a page right out of the Nazi minister propaganda, Joseph Goebbels' book, Accuse the Other Side of Which You Are Guilty. And we talked about it on the other podcast. They need to check. I want to know your thought on this. These are the expired Democrats. This whole rhetoric that this guy's been doing, when he was talking to the young black voters, he's like,
because Trump winning, the people are saying, no, we were right. Trump was right. Kamala winning, Obama would have spoken in a different way.
100%.
You know how he would have spoken his demeanor? Very different.
We told you.
Yeah.
We told you.
So you guys remember how the left treated the right after Joe Biden won the election in 2020? Everybody on the right was an election denier. It was this new slur, basically, that they were using to belittle the Republican Party, the Trump supporters. And now we have a new election denier on the block, apparently, as Barack Obama has joined the crowd. And Patrick Bet-David has something to say about it, as well as Cenk Uygur. And if you're not aware, right now, Cenk is doing this circuit. He's going around doing all this commentary, being a guest on Tim Pool, PBD, probably some other shows. He's always on Piers Morgan Uncensored. And I know he was even live with Crystal Ball the other day. And in my opinion, he's going around trying to siphon off viewers by posing as somebody who's trying to build bridges between what he has recently called the populist left and populist right. We know if Donald Trump would have lost this election, he would have been out there screaming from his high horse that he was right this whole time. And I'm here to tell you that this dude is posing. He's not changed his perspective one bit. He's just out here trying to siphon off viewers and trick people into coming over and watching his show, The Young Turks. But enough about Cenk. Let's go ahead and get into this video.
Rob, if you want to pull up the Obama story, because Obama is becoming an election denier, and you know,
what you don't say.
No, I mean,
Weird.
I didn't think he was going to be the guy that's going to be an election denier. Is this entire video, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Obama is suddenly very concerned about what the party in power can do to rig elections and weaponize the government against perceived political enemies. What curious timing. The Washington Examiner reports Obama scorns doom loop of political extremism after Democrats' election defeat. Former Barack Obama criticized the political doom and loop created by politicians who portray their opponents as enemies to be vanquished just weeks after he warned voters about now President-elect Donald Trump while campaigning for Vice President Kamala Harris. Go ahead and play this clip.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power.
Can't even get the shit out of his mouth.
Either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary,
that's insecure,
the criminal justice system to go after opponents.
Look at the eyes.
He doesn't believe it.
I never saw him pause
And in
like
those
that.
circumstances,
Very
pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure. That's okay.
Looks weak.
In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
Firm. Yeah, by the way, he does not look strong.
He looks like defeated and weak, Pat. That guy, and by the way, he's unoriginal, Tom. And you talked about this before. He stole the tack. He took a page right out of the Nazi minister propaganda, Joseph Goebbels' book, Accuse the Other Side of Which You Are Guilty. And we talked about it on the other podcast. They need to check. I want to know your thought on this. These are the expired Democrats. This whole rhetoric that this guy's been doing, when he was talking to the young black voters, he's like, "You got Kamala's black. You guys have to vote for Kamala." It's like the shock of why they're losing everybody. It's not just left. Everybody's moving away from these people. If we're going to be honest, this has become the party of hypocrites. Okay, they're the actual racists. They're the corrupt ones. They're the ones that cheat elections. All right. They want young children to chop off their genitalia, and these are facts. They want to have them mutilate themselves. They want men and women's sports. Facts. This is only a left
men and women's sports.
Men and women's sports. They want open borders. They want to use lawfare. Look at what he's talking about, Cenk. They're the party that literally weaponized the Department of Justice, the FBI, to go after Donald Trump. The guy even got shot in his head. This type of attitude, this is done, and I just want to know, Cenk, not going to move on from these people. This
Let
is
me
it.
say something before we go to Cenk.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say something. I'm going to go to Tom and Adam, and then I'm going to go to Cenk. Let me explain to what you're just saying right now, which is very important. Okay, so watch this. Watch this. He may have just had the worst loss of his career.
Correct. I agree. I agree 100%.
Okay, because 2016, Hillary had the worst loss of her career. He
Yeah.
did not. That was Hillary. And that was embarrassing that you lost to this guy, okay, meaning to Trump, okay? But this last one, Kamala wasn't campaigning. He was campaigning. Obama wasn't campaigning for Hillary. Yes, he was, but not like this. Obama was campaigning for Biden. He
Yes.
helped them.
Yes.
And they won, right? This is the first time he has had a public loss of this level, of this magnitude. He's never had a loss like this, and here's the issue. So Cenk comes and, hey, I think we have to stop thinking MAGA's the enemy. What? What are you talking about? I think we need to stop thinking these are horrible people. We got to stop taking that approach. We can disagree on policies, but dude, these are like, I'm around them. This guy speaks as a way that you're not, you lose a game, and what do? You come back and you say what? We have to go back and, hey, we messed up.
Yep, back
That's
to drawing
a terrible
board.
loss. Back to the drawing board. We have to make some changes. It all starts with me. There is nothing. It all starts with me. You're the head coach of the Democratic Party. Where is the accountability for you? Where is you getting up on the stage and saying it's with me? If anything changes and you have this kind of a loss, and you're saying they you know what he's trying to say? He's trying to say, in a way, because legally, yes, they're going to probably flip one more seat for Supreme Court. That's what he's trying to say, but he's saying it in a way to make it seem like it's illegal. It's not. He's doing it in a legal way. But you're just not happy about it because that could be a 20-year of Supreme Court and logic having some kind of control. Tom, what are your thoughts on what Brock is saying here?
When I saw that, I thought to myself, there's influencing and there's leading. And I watched it, and I actually had the thought, I looked at it and I said, didn't this guy used to be Barack Obama?
Yeah.
But I'm saying Barack Obama in the spirit of who he was. And you don't have to agree with him to understand that he was a gifted politician, that he stood like a statesman at times. I don't have to agree with all of his policies to give credit to that person that served 2 terms as a president. And I looked at it and I said, you have been trying to influencing. Clooney said you stood behind the scenes, you didn't lead, you influenced on the coup, if you want to call it that, of Biden stepping out of the candidacy. You influenced from behind the scenes till they finally said, you got to get out in the front yard and you got to yell. And you finally got out and started campaigning. But there's influencing and leading, and he didn't lead all year. He didn't stand up to lead. And when I looked at it, I said, again, didn't this guy used to be Barack freaking Obama?
Well, if you remember, we learned after Trump won the election in 2016 over Hillary Clinton that Democrats are the worst type of losers in the world. They don't know how to handle it. And it's not surprising coming from the party that supported participation trophies for losers, right? And I don't think Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama had ever lost anything in their lives until that 2016 election. And we saw how they handled it. Hillary Clinton didn't give her concession speech until the next day. We remember the Russia, that whole thing. It was the day Trump was inaugurated. The mainstream media was out here saying, well, today the impeachment begins, the impeachment of Donald Trump. They're just straight up losers, but they don't know how to handle it when they actually lose. It's really weird.
You don't look like that.
Yeah. You know when you're no longer as attractive as a girl and you expect everybody to treat you like you were at 22 years old.
We agreed not to talk about The View.
But the grace, what stays, you hope the grace stays. And you're attracted to the grace, right? Like, you know what? Man, she's still graceful.
Yep.
And you can maintain your looks, but maybe not at 22. You're 62, right? Things have changed. For him, you know what he's going through? Vinny, it's very hard to go through this. My voice doesn't carry the weight it used to carry 20 years ago. Oh, that is hard.
Yep.
My voice doesn't carry the weight it used to carry 16 years ago, 12 years ago. That's what he's going through. And it's like, hey, guys, don't you remember you used to love me? What happened? Give me the attention and love you guys used to give me I was important. I was your Jesus. What happened? How come you guys don't look at me like that anymore? Ooh, let me tell you. It's psychological, very hard phase to go through. Adam.
I love the analogy you said, because one of the things we say is for a woman, it's all fun and games until you're at the end of the bar having to buy your own drinks in your 40s. Because usually when you're young and hot, they're going to do all that. So Obama, he was the young, hot, fresh candidate. And if you just take the vibe and just the riz, as you say, and you juxtapose when he was like, at least I'll go down as a 2-term president, boom, mic drop.
Cocky
just
prick.
Obama showing up, doing his thing. And now, in the last 30 days, he tried to lecture black men. Black men are like, yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Barack. You know, I've never seen, unless it's something I can't think of, I've never seen Barack Obama not be smooth. Smooth. Even before the election, there was a pause, stuttering, not confidence. Pat's always saying, it's in the eyes, Chico, it's in the eyes. The eyes look flustered. All right, maybe he had an L right there. But it's not just him, because he's wearing the entire Democratic establishment on his back, and he just realized, oh, this whole thing just crumbled. So where does he even go from here?
Yeah, so in a minute I'll say some things that you guys might disagree with, but first I understand exactly what you guys are saying. So look, one of the things that I said in that Elon tweet about the Pentagon was I'd rather be in the populist woods than in an establishment prison. And so these guys have been running the prison for a long time. And I don't mean Obama as a Democrat. I mean Obama, Biden, Pelosi, but also Mitch McConnell and Cheney and Bush, et cetera.
The
right?
Uniparty.
The Uniparty has, and if you went outside the guardrails, and as happened to me at MSNBC, you've got issues, right? You go outside the guardrails, you got issues. And that right there was him going, I can't believe there's a prison break. What happened? We had you guys bottled up, and you were supposed to listen to our marketing, and we had mainstream media on lockdown, and The View and Morning Joe would tell you to shut up and vote for us, and you would shut up and vote for us. And when I say us, again, let's be clear, because Joe Scarborough was telling you to vote for George Bush and Dick Cheney.
100%.
And then all of a sudden he's voting for the Democrats and Biden and Kamala Harris, right? Because it's the Uniparty. And so Scarborough is a Republican. He's just an old school Republican. And so there's what you guys, I see it even more clearly than you guys, that there's a meltdown in the Democratic establishment because their worldview got rocked. They thought, we're in charge. We're going to get to run this thing forever. And no one's allowed to really disagree with us. And if they do, we'll cancel them. We'll, your character assassination.
They almost did, though. But they almost did. They almost did, if you think about it. But by the way, Peter Thiel said this on Barry Taibbi's interview. I don't know if you saw that. It's worth, on the flight back, drive back, it's worth you watching this one, because Peter Thiel, he thinks differently. He said,
Matt Taibbi?
Oh, yeah, not Matt, no, I'm sorry, Barry Weiss.
Barry
My
Weiss,
apologies.
got it.
Yeah, it's I told a phenomenal job. But Peter says, you guys got to realize, if the E. Jean Carroll, if the going after Trump, if all the court everyday hearing, if the mugshot, if any of this stuff worked, and he would have lost to Kamala, Trump's record would have been 2016, you got lucky, and we were right. I cannot tell you how important 2024 was, because Trump winning, the people are saying, no, we were right. Trump was right. Kamala winning, Obama would have spoken in a different way.
100%.
You know how he would have spoken his demeanor? Very different.
We told you.
Yeah.
We told you.
So another way to frame populist and establishment is outsiders versus insiders. And so even if you're a Democrat and you love Obama, you can't say that he's not an insider. He's an insider, right? And so this was the outsiders going, we've had enough. We've had enough. You guys ran this place for decade after decade, and we can't stand it anymore. And you got, and I'll agree with one other small thing. And people on the left were mad at him when he started yelling at black men. You guys mentioned that, like, oh, how dare you and stuff.
I find it hilarious that Cenk Uygur claimed that I know better than you guys, and he listed off a bunch of deep staters. It's like, bro, have you never heard of the swamp before? Drain the swamp phrase came out in 2016. We were all aware of it. Trump was the bull that we elected to go into the deep state's China shop, right? And so Cenk acting like he's coming around right now is just a farce. The dude is posing, And I'm not falling for it. He knew he's had plenty of opportunity. He's had 8 years to listen to people that he debates with on a daily basis almost to realize that he is the one that's late to the party, right? And that's if he's really coming to the party. And like Patrick Bet-David said right there, Barack Obama would be talking a lot different had Kamala won. Cenk Uygur would be talking a lot different if Kamala won as well. He wouldn't be trying to bridge this gap between left and right populist or whatever that he's trying to invent. So yeah, we've seen it. The Democrat Party is in shambles. We realized that years ago when they put Joe Biden as their primary candidate. Yeah, he won all the stuff that went on in 2020 with the pandemic and all that. Yeah, fine, whatever. But the fact that the DNC couldn't come up with a better candidate is very telling to me. And then they followed it up with Kamala Harris. We know you guys support men and women's sports. And when you're catering to the fringe like the Democratic Party is, you're not populist. It's not even close. And we recognized that over 8 years ago when we elected Donald Trump the first time. The left fought back. They won with Joe Biden. And now, again, even more people have been convinced that the Democratic way is not the best way forward. And they changed. And I don't think Cenk Uygur is one of those people, to be honest. So anyways, this one's getting way longer than I intended for it to be, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you catch me live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on this channel. We have a great one coming up tonight, Saturday night. I hope to see you there. Make sure you click that link in the description to join our Discord. But if I don't see you in the live, I don't see you in the Discord, make sure you're on the lookout for the next video because you're not going to want to miss it.